everyone, my name is Catherine and you're welcome to this video. On this video, I will be talking about the possible reasons why you've applied for a lot of jobs out there and you still have not been able to secure one single interview, or you still have no job offer. So I will be talking about the possible things that might be wrong, or whatever you're doing wrong, or what you need to adjust, or it might not even be you. So if you are interested in this video, I would like you to sit back and relax. But before we go on, I would like you to please subscribe to this channel. Kindly hit on the notification button to get regular updates from me. Click on the like button, and you can also share this with your loved ones or any colleague that you believe it might be beneficial to. So let's get into the video. Now, I've had a lot of people express their frustration. They keep getting this unfortunate mails, and they are really frustrated. And I can understand that it can be depressing. It can really be depressing when you have all your check boxes ticked already, like your IELTS is ticked, your CBT tick, and now you're applying for jobs and nothing is happening. And we all know there's a timeline on the IELTS result. It is 2 years. After 2 years, it expires and you need to write another one. Even the NMC UK registration, I think it's just 2 years also. Yeah, I think it's 2 years. So after 2 years, if you still do not come in, or nothing is done about, or you're unable to complete your registration, you start all over again. So it's a whole lot, and I understand that it can be really frustrating. But let's look at what might be happening. What is the possible reasons why a lot of nurses are experiencing this? I'm applying. Why is it I'm not getting any job? Somebody was telling me last week that, Catherine, I've done over 250 applications and I've not even gotten one single interview. Sometimes they schedule me for an interview and they just cancel it, and I end up chasing them and all of that. It's really not nice. So let's go into the possible reasons why this might be happening now. There are a lot of platforms that we actually do apply for jobs: Track, NHS, Indeed, several of them. I think about 5 or 6 that I know of. Some of you might know much more than that, which is fine. All of these platforms are valid. I'm not saying they're not invalid, or there is one that is superior than the other or something like that. Not at all. Every one of them, it's fine, it's okay. But what do we put on these platforms? Especially our supporting statements. Like, apart from the fact that you fill in your details, your name, your school, where you're from, you're Black African, blah 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 blah, and all of that. Now, the main thing is, why, when it comes to the job application, what are you putting in there? Talking about yourself, because that's what most of the employers will say. And I tell people, there is nobody that actually do sit down to go through every detail in your CV, or go through everything you put in your supporting statement. I don't think there's any employer, because of the amount of people they have to look at their CVs, their supporting statement, so they cannot read in total. Most times what they do is, they just read it, like just scan through. Is this person meeting the job specification or person specification, or should I say job description and person specification? Does this person really have that kind of look? As I always do say, a CV, it's like your outlook out there. It's like an image of you. I'm not seeing you, but when I see that your CV, it forms something in my head. It forms an image of you in my head, and I'm thinking in my head, do I want to have this person on board? Do I feel that this person will fit this job? Should we even take a shot at interviewing this person? That is what the person is thinking about. So whatever you are putting in your CV, it has to match the job. I've done a video before on how to put up a good CV, but now let's talk about supporting statement, because I was opportune to actually review some people's supporting statements, and to be honest, I felt, okay, these are the things I feel you might not really get this thing, or these are the things you might need to adjust or remove. For example, I think I remember a supporting statement started with, oh, I am excited to apply. It was a supporting statement. I'm excited to apply. Oh, hold on, let me just try and get my phone to read some things I have here. Let me just try and read it so that it's right from Okay, let me just say. Okay, this is a supporting statement now. And the person is starting with, it is with great pleasure that I am applying for the position of staff nurse in your organization. Having read your job description and values, looking forward to working with you as I believe that I have the relevant qualifications. Now, I believe that this first two lines or sentence, it's not it. I don't know whether it gets me. It is with great pleasure that I'm applying for the position, and like I'm trying to check it. What are you saying to me? I have the relevant qualifications, skills, and experience. But this same supporting statement. Imagine it starting with something like, oh, I am so a university graduate with 10 years or 8 years 15 years clinical working, clinical experience. That okay, this person has 10 years, 15 years, 5 years clinical working experience. Tick. I have written and passed my IELTS and NMC CBT exams required by the NMC UK to be fully registered and allowed to practice in the UK as a registered nurse. Okay, you have the prerequisite. Tick. That is what somebody is looking at. I've also attained having the opportunity to work in a 500-bedded multi-specialist hospital. That is it. You are starting. The first paragraph is making me to want to read further. I want to say it. You've told me that one, you have 10 years clinical experience in your first paragraph. You've told me the level at which you are with your NMC process. So I know that, okay, you are ready. The only thing you are waiting to do is to write your OSCE. You've also told me that you have this vast experience of working in a 500 multi-specialist hospital. Do you understand? Now I'm interested. Now I'm trying to now look for the job description for that job that I advertise in your supporting statement. It should be something in your second or third paragraph. I don't know whether you're following me. I'm just trying to read some of the things that I know people sent to me that we worked on together. I'm just going to pick one or two things. Now, this person went further to say, having been opportunity to work in a 500-bedded multi-specialist healthcare facility with rotations at intervals across various departments such as medical, surgical, children, ophthalmic, a lot of it, orthopedics, so a lot of them like that. Now this person now went into the skills she has. All this I have done using a multidisciplinary approach to enhance patient experience and recovery. This individual talked about cardiopulmonary resuscitation, defibrillation of people, when there is a cardiac arrest, acute and chronic pain management, suctioning, nebulizing. Now, this person now went into the job description, what they expect the person to know, being able to, one, provide high quality nursing care, participate in assessment, planning, implementation, education, work autonomously, being able to work under pressure. This person tried to go back. I think I'm rushing it, so I will slow down. Now, the first thing I said is I've tried to read how somebody started our supporting statements. And I'm trying to say that starting that way, it's actually not the best way. I'm not saying it is bad, but it is not the best way. It is not the best way. But when you start with, let me read that order starting point again so that you can get what I'm saying. I'm not really the tech pro. I would have wished to just put it somewhere so that we can read and we can follow me. But maybe after this, I will try to work on all of these skills. So let me go back to what I was trying to say. A supporting statement started like this. It is with great pleasure that I am applying for the position of so. Having read your job description and values, I'm looking forward to working with you as I believe that I feel all those things, it's a turn off. Personally, for me, if I'm a recruiter, it's going to be a turn off. I'm going to move to the next person because you've just tried to talk about how you want to apply, like your first 4 lines are you want to apply. You've not tried to sell yourself to me. Somebody else is starting as, I am full name, a university graduate nurse with 15 years working experience. Now, that is something that I will come down to say, okay, what else do you have? Now, this person has gone further to say, I have written and passed my IELTS and NMC CBT exams required by NMC UK to be fully registered and allowed to practice in the UK as a registered nurse. And this person has also obtained the decision letter to proceed to write OSCE or is OSCE. After this person went into that work clinical experience she's talked about. She has worked in a 500 bedded multi-specialist healthcare facility. Talked about every department she has worked with. Even if you work 2 weeks in a department, it's an experience. If you work 1 week in one department, it still counts as an experience. So after this person listed all of this person went into the skills she possessed. I haven't read the job description. Apart from the job description, also, what are the characteristics, person specification of the job? You see a lot of job adverts like that. Some of them will tell you, oh, this is what we want for this job. I'm going to go online now and check on nhs.com, NHS jobs, and read a job advert. I'm going to go on NHS job search now, and I'm just going to search for a band 5 job, and I'll read the job description and person specification for that job so that you get what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so I have a job application here. It's a job application for staff nurse respiratory ward, band 5. And apart from the job summaries, most times the job summary is always like the same thing. Are you an ambitious band 5 staff nurse that wants an opportunity to broaden your knowledge and add new skills from a respiratory perspective? You'll be expected to take delegated responsibilities in its given shift. You will be expected to take delegated responsibility in a given shift for a group of patients with experience. You may be expected to take charge of the ward in the absence of the sister or child nurse. Now, main duties of the job. As a staff nurse working in the respiratory ward, you will be a valued member of the team, providing high quality to patients in a professional, compassionate, and competent manner. You will be able to contribute ideas and support clinical initiatives in order to provide evidence-based patient care. Working as part of the MDT, leading care delivery, excellent communication skills, IT skills, willingness to share knowledge and mentor or teach qualified or unqualified staff and students, able to remain calm under pressure, always provide all patients with privacy and dignity, evidence of good attendance and timekeeping. You will receive specific training to help you to achieve your competencies for the role. Now, I'm going to go to the job specification. Job specification says good IT skills, BLS or ILS, able to manage word in the absence, communicate clearly both verbally and in writing, evidence of good attendance and timekeeping, team player, excellent organization skills and time management, remain calm under pressure, understand the importance of patient confidentiality and data protection, accurate with attention to detail, supports patient equality and diversity. Desirable: IV drug administration, previous use of electronic patient record system, phlebotomy, cannulation, arterial blood gas sampling, competence in care of tracheostomy and chest drains. Personal qualities: flexible approach to the needs of the service, committed to delivering a high quality service. Now, essential: NMC registration, experience, ability to work clear protocols or guidelines with role boundaries, research awareness, interest in respiratory nursing, awareness of pressure across the trust, willingness to share knowledge and mentor students. Now, desirable: previous acute experience within the NHS. Now, if someone is applying for this job, now let me read the job description. Maybe it will also help. I think I've read the job description before, but let me just read it again so that we understand. It said, for delivery of care and assessment, development, implementation, and evaluation of individual programs of care, they're expected to take delegated responsibility in a given shift for a group of patients. With experience, they may be expected to take charge of the ward department regularly in the absence of the sister or charge nurse. This job description outlines the trust expectation of an experienced band 5 nurse. Nurses will not be expected to fulfill the tasks marked with asterisk until they have moved through the foundational gateway and and are progressing towards the full KSF competencies. If you're applying for this job, you need to also try to consider the person's specification for the job. You can't put in your supporting statement and you just decide to omit all of these things. Now, let me read the supporting statement that I was reading before. I talked about the fact that the person talked about the work experience, talked about the level at which he or she is with the NMC registration, talked about the various departments he or she has worked before. This individual talked about various departments the individual has experienced before. You understand what I'm trying to say? Now, this individual went to the skills they possess. Remember, in the person specification, they talked about some skills. They talked about cannulation, talked about arterial blood gas, talked about all of that. So the person went into the skills. He said, I am skilled in cannulation, collection of blood samples for laboratory investigation, catheterization, major wound dressing. Now, this what I'm reading presently. It's not for the job that I just read that. I'm just trying to tell you that for every job application, there is a person specification. There's something they're expecting from you to have or to possess, something they want you to bring to the table. Now, if all your supporting statement is missing of all of these things they're asking for, it might also be one of the reasons why you are not getting any interview slots. And of course, the way you are starting, your first 4 lines has to be direct, on point. You can't waste it. You can't waste it to say, I am excited to be writing you this letter. You're excited. They are not expecting you to be sad before. So you don't need all of, or say something like, you're excited to be applying at this trust. If you understand what I'm trying to say, just go straight to the point. Your name, your qualifications, your work experience, number of years, it has to be well stated so that they know, oh, this is not, even I tell people, even if you're a student, you can't say you don't have experience. Your placement counts as an experience. I see people that will say, oh, I just finished this year. You just finished this year, babe, but you were going for placement. They were sending you to surgical ward for 4 weeks. You count all those things, put everything together. Does it make 1 year calendar? Does it make like 2 years calendar? I have a 2 years clinical experience. You don't need to say working experience, because it is not per se you working, but it's a clinical experience. So let's understand that whatever supporting statement you're sending out there, ensure that your first 4 lines is on point. You sell yourself out. You sell yourself. Don't waste time. Don't say you're excited. Now let me move forward. Don't let me stay too much on that, because we still have like, how many points do I want to talk about it? I think I have about 6, so I think I've taken too much time already on that. Now, after all of this individual still went forward that to talk about what he or she does presently. What am I doing presently? Where am I working presently? What am I doing? What are my current core skills? Talked about it, which is fine. And like the person is using this to just relate to the person specification of the job. They want somebody that will provide dignity, confidentiality. They want somebody that will give high quality care. They want somebody that will be able to work under pressure, work independently to some certain extent, be calm under pressure. You know, there's a lot of crazy workload here, so you have to put it there. You say the person wants to say, I provide high quality nursing care, participate in planning and all of that, manage the ward with little or no supervision, demonstrate my prioritization skills, you know, prioritize your work, time management, organization skills. You can work autonomously to make judgment and decision. You delegate effectively. For example, you can allocate your jobs for your subordinates or your assistants. Then the person wants to do personal skill, like soft skills. I'm compassionate, I'm flexible, I'm dedicated, I'm reliant, I'm patient-centered, I'm all this, I'm all that. Now, there's one thing that I love, that I believe that is also a selling point. In your last paragraph, because most time when they read all of those things that you say you've possessed, you know, you've talked about yourself, your qualifications, your number of years of working experience that you have. You've talked about the level at which you have with your NMC processing. You've talked how experience, what was the experience like, oh, I've been opportunity to work in a 200, 150 multi-specialist hospital or tertiary or federal institution, something like that. Talked about all of that. And the next one, you've talked about the person specification for the job, the kind of skills you process, you can catheterize, you can cannulate, you have experience with patients with tracheostomy. Now, in all of this, you've talked about that. You talk about your soft skills. You're compassionate, you're reliable, you're dedicated, you're patient focused, you this, you that. The last paragraph, I believe she talked about them. Talk about them. You can just do a small research on this trust you're applying to. Okay, I'm applying to, for example, Manchester or something, or Royal College in London or something like that. Browse about them. What is their trust values? What do they hold dear to their heart? What did they say their values are? What did they say their missions are? What did they say their goal? What did they say their goal is? Put it there. I'm going through, you can put it just there. Going through the trust values, I believe that these are things that also aligns with your own personal value. Then talk about their values, putting patient first, this one, that one, just put it there, make them feel like you want them. I believe many supporting statements that I've seen and they were just getting jobs like pium. It's one of the things, because you can't send the same supporting statement to every job you're applying for. You have to do some tweaks and magics here and there. Do the small changes so that it's balanced. It's balanced. When somebody is reading, okay, you actually took time to find out about them, your trust values, your mission to this is to do so. I believe this is one of the, just make them know that you really do want them to, and so they feel wanted. First paragraph, you've talked about you. Second, you've talked about you. Third, you too, give them fourth paragraph. It's not too much. Talk about them in the fourth paragraph. Now tell them you are ready to learn, you're ready to unlearn, you're ready to join their board. Type of supporting statements, they are dope. I don't know what other English word to use, because when you make people feel wanted, they love it. The chances that you might be getting an interview is actually high for those kind of supporting statements. When they say that you talk about them, it's really a selling point. Mark my words, it is. So now let's go to another reason why I feel people might not be getting job interviews or getting stated for any job. For some people that they get emails like direct employers, like, oh, send your email to, or send a mail to this HR, blah 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 blah. I think I've seen. I'm not trying to let me use the word. Let me find the right word. I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I think that some people have very poor manners, or should I say, email etiquette. They don't know how to send mail. You clog all your words together, no space. It's not there's something about how you should send your mail. It should radiate of sweetness. It should radiate of sweetness. I think it's not so difficult to do that. You don't clog all your text together. And here, Paula, I am sending you this mail, so, and no, you just put the full stop, space, you continue. Everything just looks like one very sad note or something. I don't know, but a small space. Press the return, but is it return button? Like, just put it on another line. You don't have to put the same thing on the same line. Dear Paula, I am I'm sending this mail in respect to the job application, and you put the title of the job application. Don't just say HR email or like title of your email, job application band 5 or staff nurse, so. It's always stated in their emails what you should put there. So follow the instructions. Take your time to read the email instruction. What should you say? So, dear so, I am applying for the role of so. You have to put a body of text. Some people use their supporting statements and body of text, which I don't think is bad. But of course, the shorter it is, the better. So, the supporting statement on all of these platforms that we used to apply, it's always really long. So I really not advise anyone to use that same thing. You can use something like, maybe, I think, cover letter. Just make it about 3 paragraphs or 2 paragraphs, the least. Hello, dear and I'm applying for the role of, so I am this clinical experience, 8 years, 10 years clinical experience. I've worked in so places. I possess so skills. Tell them the level you are with your NMC registration and all of that. And when you are through, talked about the skills, the job specification for the job still. I will look forward to hearing from you. Talk about their trust also. Just like I said, even if you are putting it on your supporting statement, in that's your body, email body, put all those things there. Talk about you, talk about what you possess, talk about the job specification. Align everything, let everything sync with you. When you are ending it, talk about them. Thank them, tell them you're looking forward to hearing from them. Best regards. And when you're sending it, send a standard CV. And you can also send your NMC registration page. You can send in your IELTS exam results. You can send in your CBT also, so they know that, yeah, you've done everything. You're actually ready for this job. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you cannot just send an email and the email is so watery. I think that's the word I can find right now. I wish I can get a better word so it doesn't look like I'm insulting anybody. But of course, you can't do that. You cannot do that. I tell people every time, always have it at the back of your mind that you are not competing with, for example, I'm from Nigeria, so you're not competing with other Nigerians. It's not me and one babe or one guy that is in Ibadan, that is in Anambra, that we are competing for this job. It's a global thing. Somebody in India is thinking of that job. Somebody in Philippines is eyeing the job. Somebody in Portugal is also looking at the job like, oh, I think I want this job. Somebody in Bangladesh or something is also thinking about the job. So it's a global competition. It's a global poll. Somebody's thinking, what do I get for this job? You have to be able to prove to them that it is you. I am the one for this job. I am the one that is good for this job. So you cannot afford to be lax with it. You cannot afford to just do everything. Send email, send a standard email. There is no shame in asking for help. There's no shame in telling somebody, okay, can you help me kindly proofread this? Is this okay for me to send? And another thing, grammatical errors. Oh, I read one supporting statement and I was having headache. I cannot lie. I was having headache. Too much grammatical errors here and there, plural, adjective, conjunctions, all these spaces. Sometimes, they're English people. And many of these people that are HR and all of that, most of them are basically maybe English major or something, communication, all of those things. So they are really skilled when it comes to writing skills. It's not like people that are on the field, if you get what I'm trying to say. Because if you come here, some people will speak some English, you'll be like, and you're an English person, what kind of English is this? You get what I'm trying to say? But the people recruiting you are not like those kind of people. So you need to be careful of all of these grammatical errors. It's not like I'm saying that you have to be a grammatical expert or something, but you cannot be sending emails filled with blunders here and there when they want you to be skilled in both verbal and written skills. You get what I'm trying to say? So now let me read another supporting statement. Just like I said, I'm a warm, compassionate, and diligent registered nurse from Nigeria. You see, you like that. I possess about 6 years clinical experience. My love for this profession has motivated me to undergo, when to become a registered public health nurse. In my current employment, I just skip some parts. This person already talked about NMC UK registration, where she is. Now, in my current employment, I'm tasked with evaluating medical conditions of up to 20 patients on a daily basis. I have also developed and directed a rotational system to manage the care of patients and coordinate workforce management. Now, this person went on. Now, I want how this person said it. He said, having read through the person's specification for this role and your trust values or mission, I am positive that my goals and strengths aligns with yours. That was what I was trying to say the other time. I'm working to obtain professional development with opportunities to develop my skills while contributing to the growth of the renowned world-class health institution. Additionally, some of the trust values which include professionalism, positive attitude. The person just now tried to mix all the trust values and put it all together to see that I am the best person for this job. I know all these things. I'm good for this thing. So really, if you are not doing all of this, it might be one of the reasons why you've not been getting any interview. If somebody is going to the extent of, browsing about the trust, reading about them, make them feel wanted, and you just write, oh, I am excited to be applying, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, and you went on and on with even how many years of working experience you have. It's filled with grammatical errors. You finished with I will learn and relearn and unlearn and so help me God. Which I'm just joking. I don't think anybody will put so help me God. Who's gonna send you any interview slots? So please, you can just try and sit down, read your supporting information again, read your cover letters again, go through them and see what you can do and see how you can adjust them. All those little tweaks here and there might do some magic. And always remember that you have to read every job you're applying for to just be able to blend them in, tame them to meet what they are looking for. Now, apart from all this, there's another thing I realized, that some people might actually be applying for the wrong jobs. Now, that's another issue. Usually, I would say apply for a band 5. It's a band 5 job. But there are some jobs that it might be a band 5, but it's more like in a very, very specialized word. You understand what I'm trying to say? Some people are really, really so picky when it comes to somebody. They are trying to say, most of them will tell you, okay, maybe during interview, they'll be like, oh, have you worked in this unit before? And maybe you just feel, okay, I have like 2 weeks units. There's some trusts that are really so good. They don't mind. They don't mind if you don't have any prior experience, they will bring you on board. But there's some people that they're so picky. They want people that actually really experience in that job. So I always advise people, the best thing is apply for the basics. Medical surgical words. Medical surgical words. When you come here and you've worked in the medical surgical unit for a while, you can decide to cross to all those special words. Of course, there are people that got the jobs on special words here. But I'm just trying to say that some of them can be very picky. Like, oh, have you worked in this thing? So if you're not applying for the right jobs, it's also a problem. I've seen people apply for band 6 roles that you can't just apply for a band 6 roles right from I'm not trying to say that some people don't get a band 6 role when they come in. No, I'm trying to say that you cannot just be applying and you just applying for a band 6 role, except you are in Dubai, because I think Dubai's NHS and Dubai healthcare system are kind of similar. So I've seen people that come from Dubai, Nigerians and all of that, like come from Dubai and they become within 6-7 months they're already a charge nurse, or they come in and it's a band 6 and all of that. I think I've heard some of those very, very unique stories. But you cannot just be applying for a band 6 role. It's very difficult to say you want to get there. Apply for band 5 and stick. I will advise, it's my advice, I'm not saying that is the standard or that is what you must do. No, I'm just saying that it is better you apply for the basics. Medical surgical words, surgical units, it's still the basics. Except you are a specialized nurse yourself, then that's fine. You're specialized in maybe a perioperative nurse, you're a pediatric nurse, you're an ICU nurse and all of that. It's really fine. You can decide to take a shot at all of those specialty roles, or just like I read one now, a respiratory word, you can decide to, but I advise that you stick with a basic. So always look out for the kind of jobs you are applying for. So the last thing I want to say, it's a factor that it's not about you, it's more about what is happening currently in England. I know that some people have, they've been able to get offers, or they've done interviews and they were like, oh, we'll get back to you. And you're like, wow, you people should send COS now. Send COS, no COS, no COS, no COS, and all of that. I've been hearing a lot of talks about the fact that the centers do not have space for OSCE. So there are some trusts that they have so much backlogs. There's certain trusts that are really actively recruiting. They have so much backlogs. Like one of my friend, I came in in April, one year, like April that year, and she came in the previous year, and it was I think it was in maybe September or November, and she was just writing her OSCE the next year after I came in, after me. Imagine, almost a year, because they had too many people that were yet to write their OSCE. So that then, a lot of people still want to try and do this old CBT. So people are running away from the new OSCE or new CBT, new process and all of that. And also people are just running from Oxford, different preferences. I think some trusts are really having issues with giving COS when they have so many backlogs of people that have not even written their OSCE. They are yet to write their OSCE, they have not settled them. So for some trusts like that, that might be the issue. That might be why they've said, oh, we'll get back to you, and they didn't get back to you. And some of them, they just didn't get back to you. They just didn't get back to you. Some of them are just like that. They just didn't get back to you. So what I would say is that make sure that on your side, you've done everything you're supposed to be doing. You apply, you show up for these interviews, you apply the right way, you do all the things you're supposed to do. And when you're being interviewed, you come with your A game. You come with your A game, because it is not only you. I tell people, when you have that consciousness that I am not competing with just Nigerians, I am competing in a global pool, it makes people bring their best. There was a lady I was working with at the time, and I kept on, there was a lot of back and forth, and I told her, I said, babe, it's like you don't get it. You are not competing with other Nigerians, you're competing in a global pool. Read this thing again, do it and send it back to me. I think that week I was exhausted from maybe helping people to review, supporting statement and all that. And when she sent it to me, I was wowed. I think she was just angry in her spirit mind. And when she said to me, I was like, even me, if I help her to correct it, I don't think I would be able to put in all of those corrections to that standard. No, she amazed me. So I think that consciousness will help. It will help you to bring your A game to the table. It will help you to bring your A game to your interviews. Now, for the interviews, don't always keep quiet. Many trusts, they have a standard interview questions they always ask. It's standard. It might just be maybe some tweak here and there and all of that, but it's standard. Always scenario based kind of question. Prepare yourself, record your answers, listen to yourself. Does it make sense? And many times they will always want to ask you, I think many of them do that, they will ask you about that trust values. That trust values you are putting in your CV, your supporting statement, they will ask you about it. And in what way have you maybe expressed this or done this, or have actually put your patient first, or in what way have you been kind, or in what way have you been kind, or have you expressed kindness to someone, and all of that. So most times it's always scenario based kind of answers they want, or they're giving you a scenario based questions, or they just want you to think about more like a reflection, a discussion. So and when because most times now you just pick up a story and you think about, okay, there was a time in the world, but you have to give it life, you have to give it meaning, body, whoever you are telling those kind of whoever you're telling that kind of a story to or that kind of a scenario to must actually understand the scenario. So there is no shame in, take your phone, record your answers, play it and listen to it. Does it make sense to you? Do you think someone will understand you if you communicate in that way? So it's just simple. It helps you to correct yourself. It helps you to look at yourself and know, okay, this is what I should work on. This is what I should adjust on, or this is what I should just totally remove. And I believe this will all help. Okay, so I've said a lot on this video. I've said a lot, really. I've tried to brush it here and there. I don't want the picture to be too long because I'm a very lazy person. I hate I'm not really a lazy person, no, but I can't sit down and just watch a video up to 50 minutes, 1 hour. Oh god, it's better you just make a limited series. So it is better to watch. I don't want this video to be too long, and I hope you really get 1 or 2 things, and you can ask me questions.
Remember, the goal is at least 10 job applications per day.
Okay, I think I've said enough already about those things. I hope you've been able to gain 1 or 2 things that might help, that might help in this job search. And I pray that you start to hear amazing feedbacks, start getting offers, COS starts flowing in left and right, and you guys are able to, fulfill your dreams and have all that you desire. I really do hope that. I really do. But in case you have any question, please just drop them in the comment section. I will be happy to answer your questions. And if you want to reach out to me in any way, I'm happy to help in any way I can. So thank you very much, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit on the notification button to get regular updates, and also click on the like button. And you can share this video with your loved ones or others that might benefit from it. Thank you very much, and I still remain Catherine. Bye.